Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of You Are the Masterpiece, where I'm coming with these beautiful voices that are from different industries, from different beautiful, talented places, where we are talking that we are all work in progress and at the same time the masterpieces. So there is nothing that we have to put more effort on or that we are not good enough. It's all about greatness that already within ourselves. And today I have a pleasure of having Jill Lublin with me. Jill, hello.
Hey, hey, how are you? It's so good to see you.
And it's so great to see you, and thank you so much for being part of this beautiful podcast, because I know you have so much wisdom to share with the audience. And just tell a little bit about yourself and what exactly you are doing in this world.
Oh, thank you. Well, I am blessed to serve entrepreneurs and small business owners to get your word out and create visibility that matters and get your message heard. And I've written 4 books, including Guerrilla Publicity and The Profit of Kindness. And to that end, I run what I call media mastery intensives, where it's get it done publicity. And I also run kindness circles where we create kindness together and on Zoom and give to each other. And it's just a wonderful way to come together in an hour of kindness every month. So that's what I'm doing. And of course, my story is more than that, like everybody's, but it's certainly landing in a good place right now.
I love that, because today we are talking about how to use guerrilla publicity to increase visibility, leads, and profits. And I feel this is like very near and dear topic to everybody who is running their own businesses. But before we dive in, Jill, tell a little bit about what does it mean guerrilla publicity, because there are a lot of people who are watching, and this is probably the first time they comment about this term.
Sure. What guerrilla publicity means is to use time and imagination. Like guerrilla publicity saves you money, time, and gets you seen and heard using simple techniques that are, proven and tested. But it's really like a sort of quick and easy way versus spending thousands of dollars a month on your publicity campaigns, which is what PR agencies charge you. We're like the shortcuts and fast way in. That's what guerrilla publicity is.
So tell a little bit about more. If somebody is interested, like what is the pathway? What exactly are they doing? What exactly you are teaching them in order for them to actually tap to more leads, to more visibility? Because we know, especially if we are talking about the online business, right? We want to have that visibility, because a lot of times I hear the complaints from business owner, from the coaches, healers, because this is my audience as well, where they say nobody buys what I want. And my first question is, how many podcasts did you go to? How many virtual stages you have been attended and speaking on, right? So the idea is, if not enough people see us, they cannot know how great we are. And it doesn't mean that they don't want to buy, but if they don't know who we are, how can they buy from us?
Exactly. So part of this is, no matter where you are, it is a perfect time to start your publicity, whether you're just starting a new business or transitioning from something. A lot of people are doing that in today's market. Whether you're 5 and 10 and 20 years in, I want you to think of publicity like a ladder, right? You take a step and a next step and you keep stepping. That's the important part. And that it's a continuous journey. And then think of it like a garden. You plant seeds, and you plant seeds for different times so that your publicity garden continues to bloom throughout the year, right? So if I have an author who's got a book upcoming in, let's say, November, we start 3, 6, and 9 months earlier. If you've got a launch happening or a new product or service, you start earlier than you need it. And that, honestly, is the mistake that most people make, is they
Mm-hmm.
start too soon. And you're right. Podcasts. Oh, I love podcasts, just like we're doing right here, right now.
Yes.
Yeah, they are wonderfully fairly easy to get. It's a consistent practice platform where you can play with your message, although I'm very strong about get a great message,
Mm-hmm.
have a great message, and then rinse and rinse and repeat, because although you might be bored of your message, there are so many people who've never heard it yet. And also different things sink in for different people. So I want publicity to be part of your continuous marketing, and podcasts are a great way to get there fast, as well as local media. Your local media needs to know about you, wants to feature their local experts. So I definitely encourage you to do and use local media a lot. And by that, I mean radio, television, your business journal, your daily paper, right? All of what your local media has to offer. That's a great place and space to get known.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. So let's talk a little bit about the steps that, let's say, somebody who is new to publicity and say, I wonder what this is all about. What are the first steps that you can tell them about so they see if this is for them?
Well, first of all, it is for you, I promise. And, do not rely on social media to be seen and heard, because as much as I love it and I believe in it and I have my profiles, and I think all of you should, but truthfully, it's more of a one-hit wonder, and you hope and pray somebody's going to see it. Whereas publicity is long lasting, establishes and elevates your expertise, and does get you seen, heard, and paid. And that starts with a great message. A message from a media perspective relates to solving problems for people who are watching and listening. I remember when I wrote Guerrilla Publicity and I spoke with the editor of Entrepreneur Magazine, and she said, I just want you to really communicate that what we care about is, what do our readers care about? What gives value and benefit to them? And that's what you have to give consistently, is value and benefit to others. As you do that, you will see, I promise, your media elevate. And then the truth
Mm-hmm.
is, once you're on a few, you just keep getting picked up, because number one, you're going to be more confident. Listen, I've worked with some people who aren't so confident, or maybe are introverts, and you may out there be thinking, well, I don't know, I don't know what to say, or I am more shy. And the truth is, when you have a message that solves problems in the marketplace, it's going to increase your confidence. You're going to know what to say and in the right order. I have people, I say, put a Post-it up on your computer and read it. Take a
Mm-hmm.
3x5 card to the television station and read it. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay, because if it sits on your lap, usually they won't see it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's okay that you're not perfect. It's about progress, not perfection. And I think that that's
Love that.
really important for all of us to remember. Nobody's perfect all the time. And sometimes we, mess up a word, and you don't have to apologize.
Mm-hmm.
You just keep going. That's what's key, is to keep creating.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I love that. So tell a little bit more in terms of what are you helping people? Are you helping people with messaging, or you are helping people to actually connect with these media channels that they get more visibility? What exactly and how exactly it's all done?
Yeah, so I had a PR agency for many years. So I was pitching media consistently and help people with their message. So now what I did was I took what a PR agency does, and I wrapped it into a pretty bow that's a lot easier to open, and a lot less expensive. And so typically, for instance, in my Media Mastery Intensive, we are doing segments on message, like get a message down, segments on sound bites, sounding good and being powerful with how you speak. Segments on the media are actually there that people can pitch. That's super exciting. And so that's a great segment. But really, what I find is the continuous practice is what gives people confidence and support. And I happen to be really good with messaging, like getting things down to a very simple way. Like, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
a naturopath in New York City actually says to me that she still uses something I wrote down on a cocktail napkin for her as her, like, what does she do? It was 4 words. And she used all these big words, and, many people do this, by the way. Too many words, too much explanation, and the mind goes, I can't absorb it. And especially
Totally.
in today's world, you need quick sound bites that are simple, and it makes people lean in and go, tell me more. That's what you want,
Mm-hmm.
to tell me more.
I love that. And it's so, so true because simplicity is so cool because when we are talking in these fancy words, like we all professionals have our language, right? Like I always say, don't use the word transformation because it's not understandable. What do you mean transformation, right? And unless you're really involved in this industry, but make something simple and make something tangible, right? So this
Exactly.
way people can relate because nobody wakes up in the middle of the night and saying I have to transform my life, right? They wake up at night because they say, okay, my bank account is empty or my love partner is not paying attention at me, right? So again, it just like really simplify and connecting them to the real life experiences so they lean on.
Exactly. You got it.
I
So,
love that. Yeah, go on.
no, and I think really what we're looking for is what's the problems out there? Like, not
Mm-hmm.
what do you do? And this is something
Mm-hmm.
I really want to explain to people. This media, getting media, is not like wave your flag and say, this is what I do, this is what I do. No, what the media, are looking for is how does what you do solve the problems in the marketplace. Maybe it is financial worry, anxiety. Maybe it is about starting a new business or creating, fill in the blank, right? Whatever it is you do. And then I have another wonderful way that a lot of people get into media that often you don't think about, which is using everything you've got, your ethnicity, your religion, your story, like my woman who's a business consultant. And however, she's a mom and her son is autistic. For National Autism Month, she talks about being a mother and what that's like, right? And how do
Mm-hmm.
you do that, run a business and raise a son who's autistic, and
Mm-hmm.
dealing with those kinds of issues for National Autism Month. Or my
Mm-hmm.
woman I worked with, who's a business communication coach, teaches you how to sound and, frankly, be better in communication. However,
Mm-hmm.
and we were getting great articles in business journals about how to communicate well in business. When Black History Month came, we shifted her story to how to be a powerful Black woman in today's market and communicate well. Now, that story, because she's a Black woman, got her into, let's see, Essence Magazine, Black Enterprise, urban publications and podcasts, all kinds of great media using everything she's got. So, right now, just think, what is it about you that you could be using that maybe you just haven't used before? Because it's, I guarantee you, going to get you more publicity and increase your visibility quickly.
I love that. All right, so hold that thought. Let's just run a quick commercial and we will be right back. All right, and we are back with our You Are the Masterpiece episode where I'm talking to Jill Lublin, and it's all about how do we use the guerrilla marketing in order to have more leads, in order to be more visible, and in order to actually be public and be known, trust, and liked. All right, so let's continue. I love everything what you are sharing so far, Jill. So do you remember any kind of story that like really stands out from the client that you were coaching, and what was the outcome that they received?
Oh, yes. I remember Ryan in particular. I had been speaking at an event, and Ryan came running up to me and said, I want to work with you. I'm like, great, Ryan, what do you do? He told me he's an instructional designer. Now, I have to tell you, I did not know what that was. And when he told me, I thought, no offense, Ryan, that's just not interesting. Tell me your story. And he told me his story that he'd been downsized from a corporate job, fired. He had a pregnant wife with their third child on the way. That means two young ones and one on the way.
Mm.
And on top of that, he had just bought a big house in Northern California. Now, this isn't exactly a great scenario for a guy who doesn't have a job anymore. I'm like, Ryan, what'd you do? He said, well, I just did what I could and immediately started my own business online. And he had instructional designers all over the United States in this case. I thought, well, now that's an interesting story. So I made him into what I call a virtual office warrior. And the acronym for that is VOW. Ryan took a vow never to work in an office again. That story, yes, 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 got him on the front page of the San Francisco Business Times. Front page, any of you definitely would want to be on the front page of everything. Got him
Mhm.
into Entrepreneur Magazine, got him into Home Office Computing, major national magazine, because why? He has a home-based office. And using everything he's got, he is Asian American. He got on the front page of something called Minority Business Entrepreneur Magazine. And on top of that, we translated an article, got him into the Chinese Times. And guess what? One article in the Chinese Times got him a $7,000 client. Like, hello.
Wow.
Yeah, that was, by the way, more than he paid me. So let me
Mhm.
suggest to you that not only did we use everything he's got, being Asian American, but all of our publicity tactics increased his web visits by, let's see, I think it was 42%. He created a profitable business within his first 6 months. And he knew publicity would drive those visibility leads and profits. And that's what we did. In fact, continued so well that we went on for like 9 months together, even though our first contract was 3 months long. And
Beautiful.
yes, it was very exciting. And that to me is a really good example of how we used his story, of how we turned around his story, and of course, his business and made it profitable. But it wasn't being an instructional designer. And that's the point I want you all to hear. It's often the not what you do, it's how we take what you do and make it into a visibility story.
I love that. And this is like such a great reminders, because the stories sell. It's not what we do and how we do it. It's more, and I feel that people always connect with us because they see themselves in these stories, right? So people that resonate with us, maybe they had similar experience, or they had similar, misfortune, whatever we are sharing with them, right? So
Yes,
the idea is that's exactly how they connect, because if we are just there presenting that success, they do not really relate to us. But once we share something personal, something vulnerable, that's exactly where we connect with people who are really meant to be with us.
yes, yes. And to, shall we say, widen your audience? Because the truth is, most of the time, most people need to widen their audience, and sometimes you need to narrow your audience. That's a to be determined, but typically I find widening the audience is actually important.
That's so beautiful. So I'm just gonna be the devil advocate, and just, like, I know some of the audience, I'm kind of tapping into the energy. They're going to say, I've tried so many different things. What if it's not gonna work for me?
Well, I'm glad you've tried so many things. I've had many people say that to me. And frankly, in today's world with ads and, some even direct response marketing, it's actually very expensive. Publicity is free. Like, why wouldn't you do this? And
Mm-hmm.
it's fairly easy. And what I find with most of my clients, if they spend 30 minutes a week, that's it,
Mm.
focused on publicity and, well, what I would call marketing, visibility improvement tactics, I promise you, you're going to land podcasts. Then you get to be featured. Then what's wonderful is you get to post that on your social media platforms, YouTube, and give it to other media people so they see that you're good, that you're confident, that you're well spoken, and that you're able to get a message out. And publicity begets publicity. That's exciting.
Mhm. I love that. I love that. So, what kind of other things that people are coming to? Because, again, like you mentioned, this is for somebody who is just starting or somebody who has been in business for a while. Uh, I feel like this is for anybody who is interested to expand, right?
Yeah,
To
absolutely.
because there are so many pathways that we can tap into more leads and visibility and profits, right? And it's all about, hey, what connects? And again, like you mentioned, Brian was just running to you saying, I want to work with you. That's exactly the type of energy we are attracting when we are just saying something and people feel that they want to work with us.
Yes. And, listen, I had a woman who created a bra strap, a fun little accessory bra strap that you could go from the daytime to the nighttime, and that actually looked good. And you women, I'm sure you can understand this.
Mm-hmm.
It sold for $25, and following my publicity system. And by the way, publicity does have a system in my world. I have a 30, 60, and 90-day system that you actually look at certain documents to make sure that they're updated and connected. And following my publicity system, she got in a blog with a blog post. She sold 600 of these
Mm,
wonderful accessories. Well, my dear, she made $15,000 that day. That's a good day.
beautiful.
Yes,
Yay.
that's publicity. You know,
Mm-hmm.
often it leads into absolute sales. And also, it leads into something that's important, also, which is credibility. How about
Mm-hmm.
trust in the marketplace? Today's marketplace
Mm-hmm.
demands trust. And when you're
Absolutely.
seen and heard, which is publicity, you have trust. Why? They see your face, they know you, they feel like they know you, and that's important. That's important.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I love that. So you got any free resources? I think I posted all the links you gave me. Any free resources that people can tap to?
Yes, well, hopefully you posted the one where I'm giving away a publicity action guide, so that's super great.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it might be scrolling across the screen at one point. But certainly, what I do is I give you even more publicity tips, and there's a free interactive masterclass with me. So please make sure you sign up for that too. And that's
Mm-hmm.
super great, and we're live together, so that's awesome. And I also want to suggest to all of you that you sign up for Google Alerts, okay? Because if with Google Alerts you sign up for your name, so put your full name in there, plus like one word. So for instance, when the Prophet of Kindness came out, I put in the word kindness into Google Alerts and found out that World Kindness Day is November 13th. Now, let me tell
Mm.
you, knowing that, I can guarantee you that every year I'm on at least one or two, several Fox Network channels talking about kindness in the world for World Kindness Day. We were on 7 like major TV networks in the first 30 days of the Prophet of Kindness coming out because of well, Google alerts. And knowing what the media cares about is actually really good for you to know. So that's a really hot tip too. That's completely free. And I definitely
Yeah, thank you.
take you, yes, take that action step today.
Beautiful. I love it. So, if there is one last advice that you would want to give to the audience to for them to like really take the action step, because again, if we are not taking actions, if we are just consuming the information, but we do not do anything with that information, that's why I keep running into the people who already tell me, I know this. And I say, if you truly know this, your results would show this, right? So what would be your that, like wisdom, that tip that you would give to everybody who is listening to us right now?
Well, see this? It's a baby step. I want you to take a baby step today with what you heard. So create a message so that your message can be spoken quickly and simply. Download the action guide and pick one thing to do. And I didn't say three things, I said one thing. And I think when you get focused on one thing, what's super about that is that you master that and then you move on, right? All my students master their message, and then we get into sound bites, and then you can pitch media, right? And it is an ongoing systematic opportunity to do things the right way. But, listen, if a major show called you tomorrow, your answer is yes, which is the other thing I want to leave you with, that no matter what the media says to you, can you talk about this? You're going to say
Yes.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And now you have me in your pocket, and we'll
Mm-hmm.
figure it out and we'll help bridge it. Most importantly, I want the media to be saying yes to you.
I love that. So, so beautiful. Well, Jill, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, for having this fun conversation. And for everybody, just check out the links and also know that everything is in your power. So, even if something did not work for you, know that there is always another way to do things. And the only way to find out is to try, right? All
Yes.
right. Thank you so, so much. And everybody enjoy the day and do something about it, right? That's exactly why we are showing up. Continue creating your masterpiece every day, one step at a time. All right. All the best. Thank you, Jill.
Thank
Bye.
you.